ladies and gentlemen, boys and germs, to quote Tim Ferriss. We are at the Hewkii and Flammeus show, and today we're going to be talking about a Billy Joel album for Album of the Month. And the album for today is going to be 52nd Street, which is Billy Joel's kind of jazz style album. As far as I can tell, as far as I can understand his kind of songwriting, he likes to dive into one music style on a given album. And for this one, it's quite apparently jazz, with the instrumentation, with the arrangements, with the songwriting as well, to some degree. And there's even like a wild double time kind of trumpet solo in one of the songs, actually two of them, in Zanzibar.
I mean, it
Um,
has jazz in it, but it's not like overtly jazz, I'd say. It's not like
no,
I think this
no,
would be accessible for people that don't like jazz, but it's kind of like Trojan horse and jazz into kind of a Beatlesy pop situation, I feel.
true. Yes, mostly that, but also like it's a little bit more jazzy just in being music that Billy Joel composed, you could almost say, because he just uses those types of chords in a way in everything that he makes. Because I believe he is a jazz pianist originally, um, and he has all those chops, all those kind of he can solo over the changes, etc. And yeah, everybody remembers the intro from Piano Man, right? I mean the kind of boom, boom, that's kind of like he's got that vocabulary, is what I'm saying, and he likes to write using very jazzy vocabulary, which is understandable for an American musician, especially because jazz is, after all, an American invention, as far as we can tell. Um, so in that way, it's got a lot of kind of jazzy chord progressions, but particularly on this album, it's like, um, yeah, it's got a lot of the jazz cliches, like the hi hat on the two and four, and the you remember the little bass intro on Stiletto? You remember that song?
Wait, let me see. Still, let me.
She's so good with her stiletto.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Got that little bass intro? Ga-doom, doom, ga-doom, doom,
Oh yeah, it's
doom, doom.
that part is it's that was one of the parts that caught me the most. It's just like it's simple, but it's like it's so fucking groovy.
Yeah, and it's got this kind of ga-doom, goom, ka, ga-doom, doom, ka, ga-doom, goom, ka. It's like that's very overtly jazz to me.
Is that a jazz cliche? I wouldn't know. I'm
I
only
mean,
half a jazz man, you know?
one, two, three, four, ding, tick, ding, tick, ding, tick,
Ah, okay, I see what you
tick,
mean.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. Where do we want to start with this one? There's lots of songs to talk about, lots of legendary songs. We were just talking about Honesty before we got started recording. I think that's an
Yeah.
amazing song.
Yeah, I think every song on there is strong. Like
Yeah.
my first impression, I had never really listened to Billy Joel. I mean, I was aware of the name. I had, I was aware that he wrote some classic famous songs, but I had never taken like a deep dive or listened to any of his albums. So this was a first for me, and I was pleasantly surprised. I thought it was a really good album. My first impression was that it was like even though there was a lot of kind of sophisticated jazz vocabulary in there with the chords and stuff, it was very easy listening.
Hmm.
It was like almost as if the analogy that I came up with is that it's almost as if my mind was like a piece of butter that had been standing in the heat for a while, and then the music just cut through like a knife. It was that easy for me to take in, and I think um, that's not everybody is able to do that when it comes to integrating some like slightly more complex, because you can hear there's like a level of complexity happening, but it's definitely easily digestible for
Yep,
sure.
accessible at all times. Did you know any of the songs before listening?
No, I mean the one I feel like I may have heard.
My
Um,
Life?
Let me check. It was one of the last ones, probably half a mile away. I think that one.
Really? I had not heard that one before listening to this
I
album.
think that was it had kind of a little bit of the Toto vibe to it.
Woo
Uh,
Woo.
Yeah, I think that's the one. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
My other world is just half a mile away.
That one felt
Woo.
familiar, but I don't know. It's a, as I say, I've never taken a
You
proper.
hadn't heard My Life? That's like a huge hit.
It didn't
Got a
sound like.
call from an old friend. We used to be real close. You know that song?
Yes, I mean it definitely felt familiar, but it also just I felt like I was listening to a Beatles song almost. So I felt like it could have been just like cross memorizing. Um,
Yeah. I
but
mean, I feel like the tangent I want to go on right now is like, I feel like I'm turning into I feel like I just keep repeating myself with regards to songwriting on this podcast because I keep saying like the magic is when you get the balance between the complexity and the accessibility in the music that you're writing. And I think you're exactly right in saying that Billy Joel's music reminds me certainly, and you as well, of the Beatles at times at least, because the um the composition techniques being used that are on display here are quite advanced, but they're put into this kind of music that sounds very accessible and, like you said, very easy listening, like
mhm.
a knife cutting through warm butter.
Yeah.
It's just like it's just everything just kind of makes sense, you know.
Yeah, there was no resistance from my mind needing to comprehend or kind of dissect, which is a it's a welcome challenge for me because I'm used to listening to progressive music, so my mind is very often actively kind of decomposing what's happening, and it um, works on my brain almost like solving a puzzle.
Hmm.
So it's a welcome thing for me sometimes to listen to music that's doesn't require, but I kind of have to tune my mind into a different setting of like, okay, it's like it doesn't provide the same kind of stimulation as something that has a very high level of complexity. Um,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
it's
because
still complex enough. It's interesting,
when you're listening to music, do you usually analyze the chord progressions or the rhythm more?
both at the same time.
Okay. At the
And it depends what I'm
same
music.
time, the same time. That's a song that I released with Stephanie and
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah. I
think
was
go
like, wait, I know
check it out.
this. Yeah.
I had to
Yeah,
give it a quick shout out. Go check out At the Same Time
yeah,
where you get your music.
it's tricky being a musician, like checking out of the mode of decomposing stuff, because when you learn how to create music, the way you relate to music changes because you're like wondering how they make thing and to just listen to the music and feel it without any kind of mental analysis.
Yeah. But
You know
wait,
what I mean?
yes, totally. But what do you analyze more? Rhythm more or chords? Did you just answer
As I
that
said,
question?
it's
You
both.
just dropped out.
I,
I'm sorry.
oh yeah, yeah. It said my internet connection is unstable. It tends to drop out for a few seconds every now and then, but I think we should be good. But uh, but yeah, I analyze both rhythm and chord progressions and also sound design. If I'm listening to electronic music, I'm, you know, interested in mixing and the structuring of the music and the sound design and the waves and all that stuff.
What kind of filter they're putting on?
Yeah, yeah, all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But as I say, this is very much kind of nerding out, and I think it's I tend to seek for kind of going back to just listening to music with almost a beginner's perspective of
Yeah,
not.
because I was gonna say to that, like somebody else might come in and say right now, because you're used to listening to very, 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 very complicated music. I feel like I couldn't have put enough veries in that in that sentence. Um, and so somebody who's used to listening to more accessible, like modern four chord pop music, might come into Billy Joel and be like, "Whoa, this is too much for me." Do you think they would? Because my feeling is that they wouldn't really find
No,
it.
no,
Yeah.
because it's as you said, it's kind of Trojan horsed in the right way. It's
Hmm.
it's Yeah, it's set up in the way that it doesn't sound too complicated, and I think there
Exactly.
is definitely a lot of magic in creating music that everybody can relate to. Um, so it's almost that, an analogy that comes to mind is like in some of those old Disney movies where, they have specific jokes for the parents that the parents are gonna get that the kids don't get, they'll hide like a little
Oh yeah.
sex joke in there.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar, it's the people that uh, don't have a the background in music theory, like are not gonna understand some of the things, but then there's like it's for so it's accessible from both levels. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, true. Like Shrek.
yeah,
You
yeah, yeah. That's the one that
you
came to
watch
mind.
Shrek, it's just it's just full of adult humor when you pay attention.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think that's a very it's a a cool thing to do when it comes to creating art. Is like having stuff in there for everybody.
Yeah, because it's
Yes.
like it's not just fun to listen to, but there's also a little bit of sophistication and depth, and you can tell that there was a lot of work that went into creating this. It was a lot of like clever solutions found for connecting chords and keys and stuff. Um,
Yeah.
like it just it everything about this album for me just reeks of perfectionism, really. And I think
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've heard Billy Joel was and is quite a perfectionist. Um,
I got that vibe too. It's very polished.
Yeah, like every single element and every single song has gotten such a particular treatment, you know. It's not like listening to a punk album where it's more or less, the drummer's doing the same thing more or less on every track, you know. This is more like every single instrument is tailored specifically for the needs of each respective song that's been written. Um, and there's a few like weird choices, like the drums in in Honesty. Did you notice what the drums are doing? It's kind of hilarious. Like if you listen to the drums in isolation, it just sounds super cheesy, but it fits so well with the song. They're going, as the chorus hits, and he's going, "Honesty, such a lonely word." The drums are literally going just like a crash in between all the hits. Um, there's no real beat happening. It's just these two hits, kind of like I think it's a bass drum, and then there's definitely a crash on the three and four, on the two and four. One, two, oh, nasty, such a yeah. Anyway, you get the point. Which I feel like is a pretty freaking cheesy drum beat of its like on its own, but fits really well into the context.
Yeah, I didn't even notice the drums, and I think that's probably a testament to, that they're doing the right thing because it just
Yes,
blend in well with the track. Yeah.
exactly. And let me tell you, I just noticed the drums on this because I was listening in preparation for this episode. I noticed I've known this song for like more than a decade, and I never noticed the drums before either until just now, and I was like, damn, this is like hilariously weird. You really think about it.
Yeah. I mean, I think often that's a mark of a good drummer or a well-written drum part is that it's just supports the song. Um,
Yeah.
and this is why
And
a
you
lot of
don't notice it.
people, yeah, this is why a lot of people, pick Ringo Starr as their favorite drummer
Yeah.
because he's not the most flashy, but he just does the right thing for each and every track.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, exactly. I think it's this concept is like more apparent with drummers than with the other band members. I mean, I'm just thinking out loud right now. I might be wrong about this, but this phenomenon of not doing the same thing between tracks being super important to kind of fit the vibe on each track. Obviously, all the band members need to change around what they're doing depending on every track, but a drummer even more so because there are certain songs where a beat in the traditional sense just isn't really quite appropriate. And you need to figure out some other kind of little stuff like kind of harsh on the cymbals or something, creating a little ambience. Or yeah, what do you think? Do you think I'm making sense right now? Have you
Not, no,
have you
totally. And I think
uh,
it's the drums are usually kind of the, I don't want to say the most important, but almost the most important part because it's like um you can get away with having subpar instrumentations in some senses when it comes to melodic instruments. But you can't really with drums. Like they are the foundation of the song, and if the drummer is a little bit off, the whole thing is a little bit off.
yeah,
But if the drums are solid and the guitar is a little bit off, sometimes it even just sounds cool,
yeah,
because it's a foundational thing. And and yeah, it's true that the beat definitely just sets the tone for the song completely, and it's um, something that non-drummers or people that aren't analyzing the drums probably don't pick up on. But it's just like so many small things, and the velocity with which you hit the drums, and the all the millisecond,
yeah.
variabilities that go into the different types of beats.
And like when you want a real beat, or when you want like a marching band beat, like which is almost what's going on in Honesty, or when you want like a little bit of ambience or whatever. Like I was just
Yeah.
picturing the chorus of Honesty, but with like an honest rock beat, like honesty, such a lonely world. It just doesn't quite work, at least not with the string arrangement that's going on at the same time.
I
So,
mean, this is how remixes are born.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I
People
mean,
hear like, well, what would this sound like in a totally different context? Uh,
totally.
yeah.
But I wanted to say as well as like something that applies for drummers and bassists, because you said before, like if you don't notice what the drummer is doing, that then it means they've done a good job.
Mhm.
Basically, it means they played for the music and not for themselves, for the track.
Yeah. I've
Um,
also heard the same for like referees in a football match. You don't
oh
notice
yeah.
them, it's you know.
Exactly. If it, I've been thinking this as a bass player as well, for
Yeah.
the last few years of being a professional jazz bass player in various contexts. If like in the studio, live, whatever, it doesn't matter. If nobody says anything to you after you've played, it means you did well.
Yeah.
Like nobody approaches you, means nobody noticed, means you did a good job. That's
Yeah.
whoop, that's what you're
Yeah,
saying.
generally speaking. But then there's also the other side of the equations where like there are certain players that kind of really challenge that approach. You have certain bands, like Primus, where the bass is just a lead
Oh yeah.
instrument. It's just the main part of the music, and it's definitely meant to be noticed.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then you have,
Yeah, if nobody comes up to Les Claypool's at a concert, it means he probably fucked up. It's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, so these are definitely not fixed roles for every instrument. It's you can definitely challenge the way that the role that each and every instrument is supposed to play in a song. For example, this is one of the reasons I really like Tool is that the guitar compared to many other metal and progressive bands, the guitar is not doing very complex things. It is almost serving as a foundational instruments, and the drums they have a lot more space to do their thing because the guitar is kind of leaving more space. So it's there's a lot of different ways you can approach the thing. But I think for like a lot of music, especially pop music, um, the role of the drummer is usually just to support everything else and not necessarily
Yeah, I mean
take
that's like
the
the traditional way of making, quote unquote, traditional way of making music. To have the harmony and melody instruments in the foreground, and then you leave the bass and the drums to just kind of fill up the low end and keep the track pumping,
yeah
basically. And you
yeah
don't really notice they're there, but as soon as they're gone, you are sure to know.
yeah
Mhm.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Your favorite track, did you say your favorite track was Half a Mile Away? Or no, that was
Um,
one you maybe recognized before, but what was your favorite track?
I think there was a lot of good ones.
Hmm.
I liked all of them. Uh,
Me
kind
too.
of the first one that really kind of caught my ear was Rosalinda's Eyes, because it starts with almost this Frank Zappa type jazzy thing, and they went a little more wild, I think, in like some of the stuff that we're doing there. Um, and Until the Night, like the when the string parts come in, and it's very epic. So, but I
Right.
loved all the songs. I thought they were all
That's
strong.
awesome that you say that. Those are two of my least favorite
Oh
on the
wow.
album, honestly. Those two and 52nd Street itself, the title track.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like the credits almost like
Yeah,
scrolling.
true. It like almost doesn't count as a song, but
Yeah.
or it's a different class of song, you might say. It's kind of like
Yeah.
meh.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
okay. But yeah, I mean, on the contrary, though, I would agree that Until the Night and Rosalinda's Eyes are excellent songs. They just didn't speak to me quite as much as the other tracks on the album. Um, the other song, there's one more that I'm trying to think of that didn't quite connect with me. Right, Half a Mile Away as well. Is like kind of those three songs, I would say, or those four songs on the album are kind of the ones that I connect a little bit less with. The rest is all the cream of the crop for me, honestly.
Mhm.
Like Stiletto, I think, and Zanzibar have to be my favorites because they're just such fucking bangers, dude. I mean, Jesus Christ. Uh, yeah. I mean, not to take anything away from My Life and Honesty, those are insanely good as well. But I think Stiletto and wait, was the other one I said? Um,
Zanzibar?
Zanzibar, right? Because they're these like huge long songs that are still they're like these epic kind of songs almost. They got very long forms, you know. They're not just the verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, like the typical pop song. They kind of do
Mhm.
that thing for a while and then just make it run for crazy long and repeat a lot more than the usual pop song and create new creative sections and stuff that kind of balance out the poppiness.
Hmm.
Probably Zanzibar probably has the most jazzy stuff going on, not just with the two double time trumpet solos, but also with with the weird, I think it's like a whole tone scale idea that takes us from the verse and the chorus of Zanzibar into the trumpet solo of Zanzibar.
But is
Um,
that the song that starts with like an augmented chord?
Boop. Yes.
It is.
Ba.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Um, and it's such a like it's got these weird bits in it, is what I'm saying. These weird jazzy, not very accessible pieces of music, basically to the general public, and then that just balances out so nicely against the really poppy parts of that song, and I really like it for that reason. It's got these like kind of it's like a piece of candy that's got like a really sour part and a
Yeah.
really sweet part, and you wouldn't eat one without the other, really.
It's the
You know?
contrast.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
exactly.
sure.
Or like a cake with a really wet part and a really dry part, and if you eat just one, it sucks.
Yeah.
But you gotta take both of them and mix them together.
Yeah, because things only exist in relation to each other. So like that's they get highlighted when they're put together.
Yeah,
And
true.
yeah, I mean, I guess my favorite songs, it kind of speaks to me being a bit of a prog head that, as soon as something sounds like Frank Zappa, I'm like, oh, okay.
You thought Rosalinda's eyes sounded
Oh,
like Frank Zappa.
wait, what was that the one that started like Frank Zappa?
That one starts like boop boop doop boop bap boop boop doop
Yeah,
boop
it's
bap.
probably just because it has like some of those uh what are they called? The little tree thingies that you play with
Oh,
this-
Clavis or something.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that song, okay, so keeping with the theme that this is Billy Joel's jazz album, I think that song is supposed to represent the Latin jazz genre, you know,
Hmm.
which I think is a really fun nod, honestly, that there's one Latin jazz kind of song, and the lyrics even are are reminiscent of that. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I can always find my Cuban skies in Rosalinda's eyes, and it's just yeah, it's a great piece of songwriting aside from all that.
Yeah.
I love that song. But
Yeah, I guess yeah, also partly why I dug it is because it kind of stood out. And as soon as something kind of stands out from the crowd, it's like that piques my interest usually more. I guess I'm kind of the way I'm programmed to notice things that kind of stick out.
you're a
Um,
rebel.
wow.
Rebel, rebel. Get that album
Anyway,
someday.
yeah, who's that?
It's David Bowie. You don't know it?
Oh no. I mean, I listened to quite a bit of Bowie, but not like he's one of the ones that I have to take a proper deep dive
Interesting.
into. There's
Interesting.
so
Okay,
many
yeah.
musicians and so many legendary musicians. It's like,
Dude, you haven't heard every David Bowie album? Fuck. So I
uh,
was just talking about this with a friend of mine who's an astrophysicist actually, and he gets this all the time, just about everything. If he doesn't know something, people go, "Wait, aren't you supposed to be an astrophysicist?" He's like, "You're supposed to be really smart, eh?" And this is the same thing, but more specific cases for us musicians, where people are like showing us a specific musician, going like, "You know this guy?" And you're like, "No," and you're like, "Aren't you a musician?"
yeah.
It's like, no, you're not.
It's even more and more the case because there's so many musicians these days, and it's I mean, it's something I wanted to talk about for a while on the podcast. Is this kind of this weird thing that's happening with the internet, that things are getting so fractured that we don't really live in kind of a consensus reality anymore. Because back in the day, everybody was kind of receiving media and music through the same um, channels, the same radio stations, and the same stores. And now it's just fractured into like it's so personalized that we just live in our little bubbles. So I can envision like a time in the not so distant future where like not everybody knows what the Simpsons are, or not everybody knows Michael Jackson, or like we've had
Just
these
for
kind of
sheer lack of bandwidth, you can't do
yeah
all those things.
yeah just because there's going to be so many things and people are living in their little corners of the internet. They're not watching the same TV stations as everybody else. So like I think we're kind of losing a little bit of consensus reality in that sense.
Hmm.
Um,
So it's like, yeah, almost like an opposed idea to individuality.
what do you mean?
Like, I just mean, like, when you were describing that, it sounds like before people had less of a choice between different things, and now we have a
Yeah,
more fine-grained spectrum, basically. We have
yeah,
more increments along the spectrum for places we can say, this is what I want. It's not quite, it's like we fine-tune it to what I want,
yeah,
So it's like, in a way, it allows us to embody ourselves more as opposed to becoming subject to kind of groupthink,
yeah,
when everybody needs to get their CDs from the same store.
yeah,
But that's obviously just one side of it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that is true, and that is like the reasons why companies do it is because they have an incentive to appeal to you in a more and more specific way, so you can enjoy the stuff that you really dig personally.
Yeah,
But the cost of that is we are like, you know, um, it's fun to be able to kind of reference or make jokes about stuff that everybody knows,
yeah,
or reference something that happened in a TV show.
yeah.
Um, and
That's why people get so disappointed when you don't know what they're talking about because they're just like, damn it, you took my moment. This was going to be
yeah,
hilarious.
yeah, yeah,
But
exactly.
you had to ruin it with your lack of information.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Anyway, back to Billy Joel.
yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, we're Rosalinda's eyes, right? Yeah, that was. Honestly, I hadn't listened to this album all the way through before preparing for this episode. And I knew just most of the songs by osmosis because of the fact that I've listened to Billy Joel quite a bit. But mostly Billy Joel, I've done just kind of best of collections and Spotify, you know, kind of the best of Billy Joel Spotify playlist and stuff like that. Um, so doing the full album all the way through is very interesting. I've been meaning to do that for a while actually, do Billy Joel album by album. There's a lot of like lesser known stuff in there that is just so good. Like that song,
Yeah.
Rosalinda's Eyes. I didn't know that existed before just going in and listening to the full album. Um, yeah, I think that was kind of like my favorite discovery of listening to this album,
Mm.
Rosalinda's Eyes. It's a
Mm.
great one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's often like I always found this from the beginning of getting into music is that the best stuff is not always what's on the top of the list. And sometimes it's just by sheer chance that something becomes popular and
Yeah.
there's you can find a lot of the best stuff from artists by digging deeper into their catalog and finding some of the hidden gems.
Yeah, honestly, it's like it's hard to say why half a mile away didn't make it big. I don't know
Yeah.
why exactly. It's a total banger. Like it's such a radio friendly song.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it just sometimes boils down to that, somebody working at a,
Yeah,
you know, record label or,
the
some of the,
A&R man.
yeah, just decided, well, this is not gonna make it, and then it
Yeah.
doesn't, because those people had a lot more power to blow stuff up,
Sure.
in those days. You had they had the levers of power when it came to
They were the
distributing music.
industry gatekeepers.
Indeed, indeed, which is why they
Yes.
had so much power over the musicians.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, Big Shot. That was a song I knew before listening to this album. That's one that
yeah,
I never really liked that much, but I think it's cool as
it's a
well.
cool song. It's a sassy song. Just
Yeah.
calling somebody out on their shit.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. It's no I think my favorite line from that song it's no big sin sticking 2 cents in if you know when to leave it alone. I just love that little rhyme. It's no big sin sticking 2 cents in if you know when to leave it alone. But you went
Yeah.
over the line, you couldn't see it was time to go home. No, 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 you had to be a big shot. And he does this Italian kind of accent on one of the
Right, yeah, I
choruses.
noticed that too. He does a lot of those kind of things on the album,
Just,
like little
what a
vocal.
showman.
Yeah. It's very good. It's kind of very theatrical at times.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed his vocal performance, a lot of character in it.
Yeah, he likes to write songs about characters, really, I notice. Because when I write songs, and when a lot of songwriters write songs, we tend to write about ourselves mostly, you know. We might do it in the third person, but it's usually actually about ourselves. um, and or in the second person, but it usually refers to one's own process because artists are usually a bit egocentric. Um,
What?
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 Oh my God. But I noticed pretty early on listening to Billy Joel that he doesn't really do that a lot of it. He does sometimes. He does have some songs that are really intimate and vulnerable. Um, but looking at the list right now, I think, like as far as I know at least, and as far as I can tell from the lyrical content, none of the songs on this album are really about him,
Hmm.
unless he wanted to tell a fun story about himself. Um, but most of these songs are just fun stories. I want to talk about his lyrics for a second right now because they are so much fun.
Okay,
Um,
bring it.
like the lyrics on Zanzibar, it's just describing this kind of lonely. I don't know. I don't know what exactly the caricature of the main character is in that song, but he's just sitting in a bar and he's hitting on the waitress and he's watching sports on television. Like that's the lyrical content of the song. He's sitting in a bar, drinking beer, hitting on the waitress, watching baseball and boxing, and that's the song. It's like
The
I would
American
never
dream.
write lyrics like that.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of reminds me a little bit of, you know, writing about characters. I noticed this about the Beatles at some point. Like, wait, half of their songs are like a name of a person or a character.
Yeah, Maxwell's Silver Hammer,
So many, like,
uh,
so many names of more women, I
Martha,
think.
my dear,
Yeah, it's mostly ladies.
Julia.
Yeah, it's ladies.
Yeah, I mean Julia was Lennon's mom actually. And then there's Hey Jude, but I think Jude's a guy. I don't know that
Yeah.
story.
Uh,
Okay.
so
Um,
it just brought up that connection for me that
yeah,
it's thing
I
writing
think
about characters.
they had some fun songs too about like she's leaving home on Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Great song,
You know
fantastic
that
song.
song?
Yeah.
Okay, fucking awesome. You're
Yeah, it's one of the ones that stuck out most of that album.
yeah. I mean, it's one of the few Beatles songs that has nothing but vocals and strings. Um,
Yeah.
like I think it's just that one and Eleanor Rigby. I think those are the only two that have just those elements. Or I might be
Uh-huh.
wrong. Fact check me, please, before passing that information on. I might be wrong. Um, what was I gonna say? Right, that song talks about it's I read somewhere that it reflects a very mature type of songwriting because they have multiple characters with POV verses in that song,
Hmm.
basically, which is really cool. It's like it's about this daughter in a pretty well-off family leaving home and leaving her parents behind and starting a life of her own because she doesn't get along with her family the way I read it at least. And you get the perspective of the daughter running away from home and you get the perspective of the mom and the dad coming out of
Hmm.
the bedroom in the morning and just breaking down and crying realizing she's gone. Um so I think yes, I think I agree with that actually that's like a hallmark of mature songwriting when you're able to just create from the perspective of different characters in your imagination like that. And I think there's a sense in which it's more sophisticated even than just writing about yourself. But I need to think about that second point. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that yeah, you're onto something with this. It's almost like filmmaking,
Yeah.
because the more shallow villains are just there to be fucking evil. Um, but when you got a really good villain, you see their fucking perspective and you see all of the shit they went through to end
Get
up
the
in the
villain
place.
backstory.
Yeah, all the
The
uh,
anime villain backstory flashback.
right. And they get you to kind of sympathize. It's kind of like, the yin yang symbol has, a little a dot of black in the white and a little dot of white in the black. And I think, that's kind of accomplished by, for example, showing the perspective of the villain and getting you to sympathize a little bit because you see like a little bit of good in the villain. And so it's not as kind of binary. I think it's probably the same effect that you're talking about there, is that it's
Yeah.
kind of just makes the whole thing a little bit more complex, and not just kind of because anybody can tell a one-sided story,
Yeah.
but most stories aren't one-sided,
Yeah. Yeah,
um,
exactly. And telling a one-sided story is more or less what you're doing when you're writing a song from your own
usually.
perspective about how sad you are and how very sorry you feel for yourself.
Right.
Um, which is I definitely used to do for a long
Yeah.
time.
It's very funny to me because it's so different from uh, when I make music. I very rarely create about anything from my like personal life in that sense. I don't have really any songs that are I write about.
You don't have a lot of lyrics either, though. I mean,
No, but they have a theme. Like I'm usually referencing some sort of philosophical concept or some sort of you know well, I do write a lot from my psychedelic experiences. That's where I draw a lot of inspiration, but I don't have many songs that are about you know characters from my um, personal heartbreaks and stuff because I like to leave ambiguity, and I like to leave things kind of more up
I
or
thought the one
interpretation.
about infinite licorice was very unambiguous.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and there are some
I'm
definitely
kidding.
that.
I'm kidding. So,
I mean, in a sense, it is very specifically from an experience of mine. So yes, that is true. I have some stuff that comes uh, from my personal experiences, but it's usually more on that side of things.
yeah, I mean, the infinite liquor, I wouldn't have been able to tell that was your experience.
No, but it's funny, like since we're on a tangent about the Beatles, I think also this is something that John Lennon used to do. Like he got so sick of people reading into his lyrics and
Oh yeah.
overanalyzing his lyrics that he just started to make up nonsense stuff like I am the walrus.
Yeah.
Apparently, that just doesn't mean anything, but people have been like,
Yeah, yeah.
philosophizing about those lyrics for years.
You
It was
know,
just
yeah,
fun.
that one and Come Together are like such question mark, question mark, question mark
Well, come
lyrics.
together, not as much. I mean, I was checking it out. We spoke about Tim Leary when Ed Wynn was on, and we're referencing that song "Come Together." Because apparently it was about or partly related to Timothy Leary. And I looked it up and it said that Timothy Leary was starting some sort of a political movement. Let me see, it's come together about Tim Leary. Da-da-da. Yes, the Beatles song Come Together was originally inspired by Timothy Leary in 1969. Leary asked John Lennon to write a campaign song for his run for governor of California,
Right.
using the slogan "Come Together" during the party. Lennon used this phrase to start the song, but later developed it into new composition.
Okay,
And
so that suggests to me that Only Come Together is for Timothy Leary and the rest of it, which is most of the crazy shit, uh, John would have made up.
maybe, yeah, yeah, probably a mix of both. Like some of the lyrics used to like really invoke for me imagery about Tim Leary because it's talking about like a wild character.
Here
Uh,
come old flat top, he come grooving up slowly. He
yeah,
got
yeah,
juju eyeball. He
yeah.
won holy roller. He got,
That is very Tim Leary
is
because
that, is it?
yeah, the guy was on a lot of stuff. He was pretty groovy.
He got juju eyeball? What the hell is that even supposed to mean?
I mean, just he's full of magic,
I see, okay.
I
He's
don't
just like,
know.
he's just like,
Yeah, yeah. His eyes are just pried wide open. He's seeing shit.
got dinner plates for eyes.
But see, maybe we're just exactly falling into the trap that Lennon laid out
Yeah,
for
yeah,
us.
yeah.
We're just
Man, that's so deep, Lennon. How did you come up with that stuff?
yeah, that's
Juju eyeball is right on the money, man.
yeah. But I think this is a lot of magic of doing this kind of stuff is that it's every single person is gonna kind of relate to the music in their own way and kind of connect it to their own experience, and it's I think yeah, that's the power of kind of leaving it open for interpretation. Uh,
Yeah. My my longest standing songwriter fantasy is that one day there will be an internet forum where people are discussing the meaning of my lyrics. I really want that to happen someday.
you gotta
It would be like I
add some more
made
juju
it.
eyeballs in there.
Yeah. Start playing around with the juju eyeballs.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can see this a lot with Kurt Cobain also. He was very fond of just, you know, my libido, a mosquito, you know.
yeah, an
Uh,
albino. I find it hard. It's hard to find. Oh well, whatever. Never mind.
yes. But it says a lot. It's like it says a lot about his state of mind in a way.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like a punk kind of statement. It's almost like lyrical vandalism.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like um
Or grunge, I should say. I'm sorry.
I mean grunge has roots in punk. It's a lot of the same attitude. So yeah, it's a little tiny little bit postmodernist. If you look at postmodern art, it's kind of
It's
the
like
same
the
approach.
ultimate postmod. It's just like what
Yeah.
this or this or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah. I think a little bit of that is cool in music. I'm not the biggest fan of like postmodern art and bananas
You know who's
taped to
really
the
not a
wall.
fan of postmodernism?
Jordan Peterson.
Yes.
Those goddamn postmodern
Oh,
neo-Marxists.
yeah. And then every time he gets asked the question, he's like, "Well, it depends what you mean by do and what you mean."
That's yeah, it's so funny because he's so such a postmodernist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love the tangents. Those are some of my favorite parts about the album of the month because it always sparks
Yeah.
fun little side stuff. But
There's so much freedom. You can
yes,
take this anywhere. This is our show.
yes,
Do what we want.
we are the
Uh,
bosses.
okay, so yeah, Big Shot also is freaking. I just the lyrics in that are like pretty funny and pretty like they got a nice attitude to him, like you said.
Yeah,
Like he
as it
goes,
says.
"When you gonna cry?" What's the lyric? Actually, I need to look this up right now. What's the
You
lyric
had
in
to
this song?
open up your mouth.
Yeah, well, you went
Had
uptown riding in your limousine with your fine Park Avenue clothes. You had the Dom Perignon in your hand and a spoon up your nose. This one's my favorite. And when you wake up in the morning with your head on fire and your eyes too bloody to see, go and cry in your coffee. Go and cry in your coffee, but don't come bitching to me because you had to be a big shot. Had to
yeah.
open up your mouth. All your friends were so knocked out. You had to have the last word last night. You know what everything's about. Had to have a white hot spotlight. You had to be a big shot last night. I mean,
This is just a fucking hip hop song, you know? It's just a
yeah,
diss track.
you had to have a white. Yeah, the freaking the rhyme within the line as well over there. Did you notice that? You had to have a white hot spotlight. You had to be a big shot last night. Right. Hot spotlight, shot last night. Almost. Okay. Shot and hot at least rhyme. White hot spotlight, shot last night. Big
Somebody got
shot last night.
shot last night.
Oh shit.
I think we're getting to the hidden meaning. He's leaving cryptic messages.
Yes, yeah, I'm sure there's a juju eyeball for us to uncover. I Okay,
Uh,
so I mean, I kind of take back what I said before about none of the songs on this album being vulnerable and all of them being kind of character songs, or none of the songs being written from his
this
perspective.
one feels personal.
It might have been an experience that but I mean, it's only because it's written in the first person, you know. He might be
Yeah.
writing a song in the first person as a character, like he kind of does in Piano Man, although that's kind of about him as well.
Uh,
But well, that's neither here nor there, really.
I mean, I think it's also, it can be both because it's like often people deploy characters to kind of mirror or give a certain take on their
Yeah.
own personal experience. So it's usually doesn't come from nothing. Uh,
I
but
was gonna say another song that where he does that is called "Moving Out," Anthony's song. If anybody wants to check that out, where he's kind of speaking, where it's kind of clear that it's not him, I
mhm,
guess, but it's in the first person as well. Um,
mhm.
so, but I was gonna say honesty might actually count as like a vulnerable, not character song because
Yeah,
it's
yeah, that one felt a bit personal. And it's also kind of continuing the theme, like my first impression was like, this is very sassy, all this, like, everyone is full of
yeah,
shit. It's the kind of the same thing as Big Shot. It's just like everybody's fucking full of shit, and I'm gonna call you guys out.
yeah. But I mean, it makes a very poignant point as
Oh,
well.
very much. Yeah, it got me like thinking for sure.
Like it's about, I guess, how relationships can be kind of like a transaction sometimes. Like I scratch your back and you scratch mine.
Mhm.
Like we're just kind of, it's just an exchange of services, really, where we get to, like, I get to have a girlfriend and you get to have a boyfriend so that we get to feel complete and like we're, making it in life or whatever. But we really, like, it's not actually in highest alignment for us to be together because we're not totally honest with each other. We
Mhm.
have a lot of secrets and we're not really willing to get to the core together and to really work out
Yeah,
all the little quirks and stuff.
I felt that as well, but then I also kind of I connected it more broadly just to fucking society and just
I
everybody being
connected
full
it
of
more
shit.
broadly just to fucking.
Yes, yes, exactly.
I had to, I'm sorry.
No, it just yeah, I definitely feel like everybody, including myself, just humanity is just full of shit. We're just a big part of our evolutionary advantage is the capacity to bullshit.
Yeah.
The capacity to lie. This is why people lie because it's useful for getting what you want. So it's ingrained into every fabric of society is people being full of shit. And like how I connected it was just like I'm just tired of everybody having their masks on and playing their games and and also in relationships. And just I felt it as just like a fucking cry for wanting to get to what's real and people being real with each other.
Hmm. Yeah, totally. But I mean, the song does go more specifically in the romantic direction, I would say,
Yeah,
with lines like "I don't want some pretty face to tell me pretty lies." Um,
but you can also connect that, for example, to a politician.
yeah, okay, maybe I'll give that a solid maybe. That's
Mm.
I get, but I appreciate the point either way.
Yeah.
Um, I can find a lover, I can find a friend, I can have security until the bitter end. Anyone can comfort me with promises again. Uh, yeah. What was I gonna say?
And we're kind of
Oh,
connecting to the relationship.
dude, I'm gonna say something about the chords in that song right now.
Oh, bring it.
It's a really interesting
Bring
chord
it in the
progression in the
guitar.
song. There's one move in particular. I'm gonna turn up the gain on my microphone right now.
Turn
There's
up the gain.
turn up the gain. There's one chord move in particular in this song that's just like I don't think I've seen it anywhere else in this particular order. And I just now, like, again, preparing for this episode, noticed how unusual this is. And it's like,
All right.
it barely matters for the run of the song, but it's like, okay, so it's in B flat. And it starts out with this really cool to B flat minor, B flat major to B flat minor to G flat major 7 to F7. Um, Melodies over there. Da da do da ba da da, and then it goes to the verse. If you search for tenderness, it isn't hard to find. Wait, mic stand failing me over here. And it's more or less pretty basic chords in B flat, diatonic to B flat major. From that point. It isn't hard to find. You can have the love you need to live. And now this is interesting. This is really weird.
It doesn't sound weird. That's the thing.
Exactly. But I've never seen a 7, minor 7 chord. This is an outside chord right here. We're in B flat major, and this is an A minor 7 chord. It should be an A half diminished chord. That would be in the scale. But it's got a perfect fifth and not a diminished fifth. So it's not in the scale. And then that perfect fifth goes chromatically down to the minor third of the 2 chord for a 2-5 back home. It's just like, and if it had been the half diminished, we would have had that note already. But by making it a non-diminished 7 chord, we get this little ba 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 ba. It's so cool.
I've definitely heard this in some other place, and it's like reminding me of something, but I can't put my finger on what it
Yes,
is.
I mean what I think you've heard is some kind of chord progression that uses a major 2 chord and not a 7 chord with a perfect fifth.
No, I think that specific one I've heard somewhere.
Going
And
to a two minor?
yes, I think
Really?
so. Yeah.
Okay, I we're gonna need to follow up on that one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do some archaeology on my mind. This is
Yeah.
I have a very hard time with almost remembering things. It's like it's a massive OCD thing for me. It's
Uh,
like
And if anybody doesn't understand the significance of somebody challenging me on a chord progression having existed before, I take great pride in being very good at chords. So
uh,
but I actually hope you're right about this, because
it definitely rings a bell, but I'll probably have to like sit down for 10 minutes and play that chord progression and be like, wait, what is this? And then just pray to God that pops into my mind.
it's really, yeah, it's really this specific combination of 1 to 7 minor 7 to 2 5 1, which I find really fascinating. I've never seen that
Hmm.
precisely like that.
Yeah,
Because
no, yeah,
the 7 minor 7 chord I've seen in many contexts on its own, but going to a 2 minor is just I, I don't I don't think I've ever seen that.
yeah.
Um, but yeah.
It is a cool progression.
And
Yeah,
it's like
I'm
and it's
digging.
there and it's gone and it's like it serves it's not important for the song, you know. It's
Yeah,
you could have totally made that a different chord and nobody
yeah.
would have noticed.
Well,
But he just had
you're
to go for
somebody
the
that would have noticed. Uh,
yes. I would have been like, damn, you went for a boring ass three chord. Ah,
But I think small things like this add a lot of character, even for people that don't conceptualize what's going on. Is that um, I think that's the beauty of music is that even if people don't theoretically understand what's happening, they still um, there is a felt impression that's made on people when something is a little bit outside of the box. Um,
yeah,
it's not like speaking about mathematics that just the complex mathematics that's just there's no point of reference for people that don't understand the field. Um, so I think these things add a lot of character for sure.
yeah,
Like small things that just are very specific to that song.
yeah, kind of, and they have a cumulative effect, I suppose. Like they
Yeah.
slowly
It's
seep
kind of like,
in.
you got like an iconic character or, you know, yeah, an iconic character or person that has like a certain facial feature that's a little bit odd, a little bit out of place,
Mm, yeah,
which kind of makes them recognizable. You know what I mean?
they would be super bland otherwise.
Yeah, right.
They'd
Yeah,
just be like very handsome, successful person. Nice.
yeah,
But with the yeah, I see what you're saying.
yeah,
Immediately recognizable.
yeah.
Okay. Um, Zanzibar. I wasn't quite done with the lyrics on that song because they are awesome. I love
Did you
those
start
lyrics.
those?
Huh?
Did,
No. I mean, I talked a little bit about the lyrical content, but I didn't start reading them.
uh-huh.
Um, so I mean, it's just so clever in its use of oh Lord help me, what's the word? Um, is it simile? Is that the word? When you or allegory when you use oh well, I'll describe it to you. You
Analogies, maybe?
analogy perhaps. I'll describe it to you. You can tell me what it
It's
is
very funny before you start. It's just I was just thinking about analogies. Um,
versus
just
allegories.
yeah, no, just I was just reminded of the fact that I tend to think in analogies and I tend to like, for example, the example of that facial feature relating it to music is that my mind tends to work in this way that I tend to notice a pattern that's happening and then I kind of bring up a totally different situation that has a similar thing going on.
Right.
So yeah, let's
Yeah,
dive into the
catch
allegories.
catch this one. Yeah. So I'll just read them to you. You can tell me what you think this means. Ali dances and the audience applauds. Though he's bathed in sweat, he hasn't lost his style. Ali, don't you go downtown. You gave away another round for free. Me, I'm just another face at Zanzibar, but the waitress always serves a secret smile. She's waiting out in Shantytown. She's gonna pull the curtains down for me. For me. I've got the old man's car. I've got a jazz guitar. I've got a tab at Zanzibar. So,
Mm. I
wait.
mean, again, you have the bar and the waitress situation going on.
Yes, yes.
Um,
But I
this one
re
feels a little bit more cryptic, you know? It's
yeah, but I mean, at least it's clear that he's talking about sports at the beginning. Ali, Muhammad Ali, boxing. Ali dances and the audience applauds.
uh,
He's
uh,
boxing in the ring. Ali dances and the
okay. Yeah,
audience
I didn't even
applauds.
catch that. Yeah.
Though he's bathed in sweat, he hasn't lost his style. You gave away another round for free. And then, okay, so that part wasn't what I was talking about, I realized as I was reading it. I was talking about the next verse about where he talks about baseball. So he was watching baseball in the second verse. Um, where he says Rose, who I assume is a baseball player. I can't think of any other way of making sense of this. No, Rose, he knows he's such a credit to the game, but the Yankees grab the headlines every time. Melodrama so much fun in black and white for everyone to see. Me, I'm trying just to get to second base, and I'd steal it if she only gave the sign. She's gonna give the go ahead. The inning isn't over yet for me. For me. Um, and I love that. It's not. I realize as I'm saying this, I don't think it's any of those things that I mentioned before. But I like that little subtle reference to baseball, and then using baseball language to describe his attempts of hitting on
Uh,
this girl. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
Um, I'm try. So he's talking about baseball. Rosie knows is such a credit to the game, but the Yankees grab the headlines every time. La 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 la. And then he goes, "Me, I'm trying just to get to second base."
Hmm. That is clever. I did not pick up on that
So
on.
good. And then
I,
even into the inning isn't over yet for me. It's very good. An inning, of course, being like a period. I think there's like four innings in every baseball game.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah.
Fact check me on that one. I'm not an American. I don't know how baseball works.
Yeah, me neither. Looks like a fun sport though. We used
It
to play
looks.
something similar in school called Kilo. Did you play
Oh
that?
yeah, a
Kind of
kilo.
like
That
it's kind of
was
like baseball.
that was the best.
That was the best.
That was
Everybody, that was the
elite.
best game. Everybody agreed.
Yeah. You had to throw this. You had to throw this ball as far as you could, or you had to punch it.
You had to
How did you
punch it,
play it?
yeah. And we
So
had to punch it.
I used to play a variant where we had to just throw it as far as we could, as opposed to hitting it, and then running around the bases. And I had this one time where I accidentally like spun around a little too far, and there were a bunch of kids in line behind me, waiting to go next. And I spun around, which meant I was going to throw really fast, and I really, really pushed myself to put all my effort into this throw. And I spun around a little too far, which meant I managed to put even more like momentum into the throw of my hand because I spun a bigger part of a circle and I hit what somebody behind me like smack on the face. It was
Well, see, now you have
poetic.
perfect like allegory material. Now you can,
Oh yeah.
you can pull a Billy Joel on this whole
Yeah.
situation.
Spun around too far
Yeah, right.
in an allegorical circle.
Yeah, right. We've all spun around too far many times, you know.
Yeah.
It's life's hard. It's hard to get the timing right.
He was looking at something else too, just minding his own business, and he looked at me like, "Why did you do that? Like, what is wrong with you?" So funny.
When reality smacks you in the face.
Oh yeah, just for no reason. No good reason at all.
Sometimes it do be like that.
No warning either. It's just
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've said a lot of stuff that I wanted to say about the album. Do you want to add anything before we call it quits for today?
I don't know. One question that came up, you know Billy more than me, is that he has his trumpet on the cover, and you
Oh
said he
yeah.
was a piano player. Is he a trumpet player also?
Honestly, I don't know. Let's find out.
Honestly.
Honestly, ChatGPT, is Billy Joel capable of playing the trumpet to any reasonable degree? That was a very weird way of saying
Oh
that.
yeah,
I
I was
don't
like,
know.
you could just ask he was a trumpet player.
I don't
You
know if
just
why. I
won. You
don't
used
know
to
how.
being formal with a chachi.
I just like words, you know? It's just
Yeah, I get it.
words.
Yeah, it's fun to word.
Not to any notable or documented level. Uh,
Ask why does he have it on the cover?
okay, so horn heavy arrangements. Why, ChatGPT, is there a trumpet on the cover of 52nd Street? Why is he holding a trumpet on the cover of the album 52nd Street if he doesn't play it himself? Maybe it's
Shots
just,
fired.
yeah, oh
Why are you
yeah.
holding the trumpet if you can't play it, man?
What's up with that? Yo. Well, we get the trumpet on the cover of 52nd Street is symbolic and conceptual, not meant to imply that Billy Joel plays trumpet. It references the jazz heritage of the 52nd Street, which is, would have actually been my guess. Not to be like in hindsight, like, yeah, I was going to say
Captain
that.
Hindsight.
Yeah. Yeah, 52nd Street in New York in the 1930s to 50s was famous for its concentration of jazz clubs. The street was nicknamed Swing Street. That's hilarious, actually. I didn't know that. Trumpet is one of the most iconic jazz instruments, so visually it immediately signals that jazz culture, that jazz culture.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah. And the album deliberately features jazz musicians. Freddie Hubbard played the solo on Zanzibar. Are you serious?
I'm gonna pretend to know what that is.
No. Wait, wait. Freddie, let me just. Freddie Hubbard, notable.
A Hubbard, it's what that name evokes for me is like uh physics.
Hubbard. Oh, are you thinking of?
No. Okay, that was a
I
bad connection because it wasn't science. It was Scientology. L. Ron Hubbard.
Okay. I was trying to think of a science name that was similar to Hubbard.
No, it's not
Um,
science. It's Scientology. Important distinction.
so let me just tell you, Freddie Hubbard is considered one of the most influential post bop trumpet players. That is after the bebop period, if I
He's
got my
not
jazz
bopping
history
anymore.
right. They ain't bopping.
No more
Uh,
bopping.
Bridge in hard bop, modal jazz, and jazz fusion. His tone was powerful and lyrical, and he was both a prolific band leader and sideman during the 1960s and 70s. Interesting.
Uh,
I don't think I've actually listened to a lot of his stuff, but oh, Speak No Evil, where he appears as a sideman. He played on Speak No Evil.
would speak no evil.
That is a jazz album by American saxophonist and composer Wayne Shorter. I will have you know, released on
Oh,
Blue
I've heard
Note
that name.
Records in 1966. Yeah, Speak No Evil. I haven't listened to a lot of Wayne Shorter either. Like I'm one of those kind of fake jazz artists, fake jazzman. I don't really listen to a lot of jazz, but just through having gone
Yeah.
through a jazz degree, I know a lot of
I
these
think
guys.
these are just names that kind of, vaguely remember from taking jazz history. Uh, and it's mostly went in one ear, not the other.
Oh yeah.
Um, but well, retained some stuff. There was some guy who like got an ear infection and went crazy. You know what I'm talking about? It's a famous jazzman.
You're talking about Vincent van Gogh.
No. That's something he got like an infection in his ear, and apparently that's what the teacher said. But
They got an
uh,
infection in his ear and he went
he
crazy.
went crazy. Yeah.
Okay, let's
Yes.
yeah, entertain this option.
Yes.
Let us we'll end this episode on this very interesting question.
Also, one fun thing is that so we had this jazz history teacher, and so the N word in Icelandic it doesn't carry the same weight as it does in an American context because we don't have that kind of history.
There were never black slaves in Iceland, yeah.
We didn't have any black people in Iceland like for the longest time. Like
Yeah, for the longest time.
there was
Growing up, I mean it's changed now, but when we were growing up, seeing a black guy in the
It was
supermarket it
rare.
was like seeing a unicorn.
Yeah, it was very rare. Yeah,
Whoa! I
it's
forgot you guys existed.
yeah, right.
Holy crap.
So that word doesn't carry the same weight the Icelandic version of that word, but it's still like it's you don't go around saying it because it is a translation of the English N word. But that the older generation, they don't really. Some of the older generation don't get that part, and this teacher, he would just drop the Icelandic N
He
word
was just like, oh my God,
in class
he's going negative.
all the time. Yeah, just every single time when he was
Really?
referring to the jazz musician, you could just feel the air in the
And then everybody
class.
going,
Just he was just like, oh,
oh.
it was just very tangible.
Did
Um,
he seriously, did he call Miles Davis that? Did he just call any black person? Was that just like his,
it
it was
was
just
just
his
his.
normal word for
Yeah,
black person?
yeah.
Darn.
I mean, it used to be like that. I think in Iceland some time ago, this was the word that was just used, and it didn't have, I think, the same kind of supercharged racist energy behind it.
Yeah.
Like this guy, obviously, he was not coming from a racist place, and you could tell that. It was a kind of innocently an old man who was not aware of kind of
Just
the
didn't know any
social.
better. Yeah.
Yeah, so you kind of felt for him like, oh man, you're kind of this is you shouldn't be doing this, but you're like.
Didn't anybody tell him?
No, everybody sat around just like being
That's that is the
very,
Icelandic way, my friend.
everybody just sat uncomfortably around. So,
Sit and bear it.
yeah, but he taught us some cool stuff about jazz history and jazz musicians. But
Okay,
you were
so
gonna find that jazz guy who
yes,
got,
ChatGPT. Now, please, what jazz musician got an ear infection and lost their mind?
oh damn.
I love the transcription in chat. It's like it's the transcription tool in this application is so good. It's got the commas in all the right places. It's like yes, comma, ChatGPT, comma. Now please, comma. What jazz musician got an ear infection and lost their mind? Bud Powell. I had no
Uh,
idea. Wait, what? The jazz musician most commonly associated with ear problems followed by severe mental health decline is Bud Powell, though the story is often simplified or misremembered. That's Powell was one of the founding pianists of bebop, alongside figures like Charlie Parker, Dizzy Gillespie, and Thelonious Monk. I've studied up on this guy, man. I've learned a few of his songs.
yeah, it
I
just brought the missing puzzle piece.
Yeah, exactly. Now I know where he
We
got it
complete each
from.
other.
Yeah. Oh, he was beaten by police causing traumatic brain injury.
Oh
Um,
damn. So it wasn't the infection, it was the police.
and he was institutionalized and subjected to electroconvulsive therapy, spent long periods in psychiatric hospitals and received ECT, which is apparently electroconvulsive therapy. Um, which many musicians felt damaged his memory and concentration. Um,
Oh.
and he drank and took other um, medications, it says here.
Yeah, we learned a lot about the heavy drug use of some of the jazz cats.
Dude, yeah, some of
Yes.
them were absolutely wild.
Yeah, they were the original rock stars.
Yeah, and now they're all like dressed up in a suit on stage. It's like super fancy peeps.
Nobody strung out on heroin.
Oh yeah, no. Guys, you haven't even had 3 beers today? What? Jesus.
The old slang for weed was jazz cabbage. Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Jazz
it's
ca That's
jazz
great.
cabbage because
I
they
mean
smoke up and improvise go crazy.
it's pretty accurate honestly because it
Yeah,
does facilitate improvisation in
yeah,
some sense at least.
yeah, for sure it does.
Hmm.
So yeah, the jazz
Well,
cats.
everybody go check out Bud Powell's song Celia, especially the version by Paul Motion's Electric Bebop Band or Paul or EBBB as it's
Electric
sometimes called.
convulsion therapy bebop.
No. Oh God. That would have that would have actually been the funniest thing in the world if they actually called it that. Done
So he
about
didn't go crazy from the ear infection. It was just fucking. racist police motherfuckers
I mean,
beating
it
them up.
just ChatGPT just told me that of like various factors that contributed to mental health decline.
Uh,
May have been just one of them, you know.
yeah,
I don't know, but
yeah. This
yeah,
is why we got music in the end, like fuck the police, you know?
coming straight from the underground.
Yeah,
That song was such a caused such a ruckus back in the
yeah,
day. It came out.
yeah. Well, let's leave with one story about that song.
Okay, yes. Continue on with
Oh,
the
maybe
tangents.
maybe I shouldn't tell it. Okay, I'll leave the other person out of the of the
Oh,
story
you just
to
use it.
protect it.
Just use an alias.
I use an alias Billy
Okay,
on
Billy.
theme. Yeah,
It's very believable for an Icelander.
100%. So I'm driving with Billy, and
What did Billy do?
so we were gonna go and pick some mushrooms, and then
Which you can do in Iceland, by the way, for anybody
yeah,
listening. They grow in the
in the
wild.
season you can go pick some mushrooms,
It's pretty sweet.
and he doesn't want to slow down for a red light, and he just guns over on a red light, and we get stopped by the police. Turns out both of our licenses are expired. We're not allowed to drive. So he gets a double fine for going over on a red and a fine for driving without a license. So we're not technically allowed to drive the car, but they give us a pass just to drive home.
Mm.
And then we go home like shit, man. This is like shitty situation, like getting stopped by the cops. And well, are we still gonna go pick the mushrooms? Yeah, we're gonna go pick the mushrooms. So we drive out of town, crossing our fingers that we're not gonna run into the same police car because if they saw us, they like we had to beg them to be able to drive the car home, you know?
Gotcha.
So we just gone out of the city, plus, and we had a good time taking the mushies.
Oh wait, I missed the last part. Was it successful in the
Did I
end?
cut out? My internet was slowing down. Yeah, we just gone out of the city playing, blasting "Fuck the Police," and then we
Oh,
got a bunch of mushrooms.
I mean, I've already got an idea for who this person might have been, but let's see.
Yeah, not you probably don't know. It's
Really? Okay.
yeah,
Are you gonna gaslight me right now? Is that what's going on?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's all right. I don't have to know. I
Uh,
want to know. I really want to know. Come on.
yeah, I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, anyway, this has been today's episode of the Hewkii and Flammeus show. Thank you so much for joining us for this discussion, this very tangent-filled discussion of Billy Joel's album, 52nd Street, and we will catch you next week in the next episode. See you then.
see you.
Well, just before you leave, everybody, I'm going to share one of my collab projects with my dear friends Stefan Early and Ian Gabriel. Was everybody credited for that particular song? We worked with some other people and some other songs around the same time in Guatemala, a couple years back. At this point, it's been a long time. Gosh, it's almost been 2 years since we were kind of working on this. It's been a year and
I
about
remember
9
when he
months
came
now.
out.
Yeah.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
it's not that long since it came out. Talking like that. That's when we were working on it, and then there's probably like a year since it released, something like that. It's been a
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. This song's a lot of fun. At the same time, it's called, and I turned this into like a little simple medicine song at one point, and I played it with my kind of spiritual tribe here in Germany, and it was an instant hit. Like everybody was singing it at the top of their lungs as soon as I busted out the guitar, and I went, "Stay praying, oh, stay praying," and we just repeated that part, and then we went to, "I was everything and nothing at the same time," and everybody vibed really hard with that, as well as the wow, wow. That's another melody that's in there. Um,
That's
uh,
that's the trick of medicine songs. They gotta be simple enough for
yeah, yeah, you
everybody
can.
to be able to hop along.
Yes, precisely. I was. And the lyrics in this song kind of lend themselves very well to that. I honestly, I think Stefan or Ian might have written "I Was Everything and Nothing" at the same time. That melody right there.
I am. I don't think they're speaking
I
in
am
past.
sorry. We played around with it at the time, but yes, um,
Hmm.
if that's what you remember hearing in the song, you're probably right. It might have
Yeah.
ended up actualizing like that or
Hmm.
crystallizing. Um, yeah, it was just this kind of concept we were playing around with when we were hanging out in Guatemala in a little town called San Marcos, where we've gathered the three of us on a previous occasion as well. It's like this hippie paradise, basically, San Marcos by Lago, the Lake Atitlan in
It's
Guatemala.
fucking incredible.
It's a
Like I've never been there, but like the pictures, like this shit ain't real.
yeah,
This is a movie. This is
Lago Atitlan. Everybody go find pictures of that place. It's an incredible energy vortex. It's a
wow.
beautiful place.
Yeah.
It's inspired a lot of art for us throughout the years. Mm, and I mean, that's the place we just meet up and
Wait, they were there recently. Stefan Eli, wasn't he holding a retreat there? Was it
yes,
there?
yeah,
Was
yeah, yeah.
that?
Stefan did a retreat with Olipyat there
Yeah. Yeah, he
a
spoke
couple
about it on the
years ago.
podcast or
Yes,
fourth episode, I think, something.
yes, yes,
Um,
true. So that's a
so
little
I
payoff right
remember that
there.
he was heading in that direction. But yeah, man, this song, it's a banger. It's a
You think
great
so?
song. Yeah, it's a good song. It's a
Oh
good
yeah,
song. It's also like because this is, I mean, I love his production.
me too.
Um, he uh, he does a lot of stuff that's not dissimilar to me, the way I produce, because we tend to like working with ambient elements and synths and voices reverberated and doing effects on them. Like he's doing a sidechain effect, it sounds at some point. Basically, sidechain, what it does, it kind of uh, puts like a pulse on the volume. It's like zero volume to full volume, like wah, 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 and you can do that fast or slow. So it's kind of gives this pulsating effect. Um, and all this stuff is like, yeah, I really enjoy this. His production on the song.
Yeah, silky smooth.
Yeah, the
Sp-
soundscapes, very cool.
And the way he edited my voice as well. I seriously, I sat there singing on that track, just improvising vocally for like a good, I don't even know anymore, 5 or 10 minutes, just straight, just improvising over a loop. And the
Hmm.
only thing that ended up making the song was what you hear when it goes,
Hmm.
whoa. It's the
I was
only
looking
little,
for you. I was looking for you.
it's
Okay, that
literally
was
the
you now.
only little bit that made it. I wasn't having a very good day, honestly, with
It's,
the vocals that time, or with my creativity or something. But yeah, that was funny. I was
yeah, I
like,
mean, I do this a lot because it's you just want to have a lot to choose from, but sometimes all you need is just that one little bit, you know.
well, yeah. Anyway,
As a
so
producer, I can speak to this experience of recording 15, 20 minutes of stuff and then just using a tiny little bit. It's
yeah,
not
sometimes you
uncommon.
just gotta turn on the faucet and let all the gunk come out, and then it's clean water from there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's
100%.
gotta, yeah. I want to say a last word about the lyrics of this song with the "I was everything and nothing, I am everything and nothing" at the same time. It's obviously referring to the nature of consciousness, which I'm sure, since Helgi is yawning as I say this, he had figured out already. This wasn't. This is a
Been there,
common.
done that.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Everything and nothing at the same time.
That's
Everyone and
true.
no
It
one at the
actually
same time.
it hit
Everywhere and
actually.
nowhere at the same time. Yeah.
It hit for me because it's just like when you start studying this stuff, it's like, whoa, wait, I'm everything and nothing at the same time.
At the same time? Yeah.
And like, what?
Yeah.
How's that possible? It should be a contradiction, but like, whoa.
Oh, we
And
had exactly this situation. We would be saying this to each other all the time, and then it just eventually became this song. Like, oh my God, I'm everything and nothing at the same time. Have you
yeah,
seen this? This is
but
crazy.
where I was going with this is that at first this is like shocking, and then you're like, yeah, this is how things are, and then you kind of get accustomed to it. But then sometimes you get a reminder, like, hey, wait, am I everything and nothing at the same time? At the same time.
At the same time, at the same time. Yeah. Yes, you are.
You can get desensitized to this stuff, you know. It's or forget how magical reality is because you're a
S-
fish in water
So please do enjoy this reminder that you are, in fact, everything and nothing
at the same
at,
time.
at the same time.
At the same time, I am everywhere and nowhere at the same time, at the same time, at the same time. I am everything and nothing at the same time, at the same time, at the same time. I am everywhere and nowhere at the same time, at the same time, at the same time. I am everything and nothing at the same time, at the same time, at the same time. I am everything and nothing at the same time, at the same time, at the same time. I am everywhere and nowhere at the same time, at the same time, at the same time. Stay praying, 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 stay praying. Stay praying, stay praying, stay praying, stay praying. I am everything and nothing at the same time, at the same time, at the same time. I am everywhere and nowhere at the same time, at the same time, at the same time. I am everywhere and nowhere at the same time, at the same time, at the same time. I am everything and nothing at the same time, at the same time, at the same time. I am everywhere and nowhere at the same time, at the same time, at the same time. I am everything and nothing at the same time, at the same time, at the same time.